All right. Think we're on. Think we're live. Awesome. Saturday night. So Saturday night, it must mean it's Saturday Night Live weathering tonight. Glad to be here. Glad everybody is able to join in. We got about 5 or 6 people on already waiting. Thanks for hanging in there or waiting for me. Running a little bit late today. I had to come on an hour later than I wanted to because I was in an all-day op session today. This is a annual thing that we do. My friend Ted Pamperin and Dave Olson both have C&O Chesapeake layouts, Chesapeake and Ohio layouts. Dave Olson does a more modern, just after Chessie into CSX, whereas Ted does early 1950s, so it's still steam era with a little bit of transition diesel and stuff. So what they usually do the first weekend in December is we have a holiday get together, and depending on how many people sign up, they either do concurrent sessions with Dave Olson do in the morning and then Ted do in the afternoon, plus a party afterwards. Or if there's a lot of people sign up, they just run 2 sessions at the same time, and half the people go to Dave's and half the people go to Ted's. So this year we had about 30 people sign up, and uh, half the people went to Dave Olson's, and half the people went to Ted's, and I was at Ted's. And we had a good time. I was the yard master in Thurman, and if you've ever been to Thurman, West Virginia. You know how iconic that whole area is, and Ted's got it down really, really well. It's a great, looks just like Thurman. He does a good job with that, and it's a fun area to run. It's actually the first time I've ever operated in Thurman Yard. I've done Hinton Yard before, and I've run over the road a bunch of times, but first time in Thurman, and I like it, so I like to do it again if it's possible. So anyway, I hope everybody had a great week. Thank you for joining me on a Saturday night again. Saturday Night Live weathering. I'm thinking about, because I'm just a little bit tired tonight, I might break this into two halves. Do half the car tonight, and by half I mean getting the fading done and a couple other things, and then finishing up. I'm thinking about coming back on tomorrow at 1 if you're able to join. I know it's in the middle of football, and I don't know how many people will be watching football, but hey, or maybe I'll come on a little earlier. I don't know. Maybe we'll decide before we leave tonight what time we're going to finish up tomorrow. Maybe we could start at 12. I know most of the games don't come on till 1, the first game. So, and if you're on the anything out of the Eastern time zone, your games are going to come on a little later anyway. So maybe we'll say 12 tomorrow. We'll see. Um, we'll decide it by the end of this live stream. But anyway, tonight's subject's going to be. I've been waiting to do this one. This Rio Grande boxcar. I kind of really like the paint scheme on this. The yellow, slightly orange, yellow, and silver. And it's going to be a little bit of a. This is going to be a little bit of a test tonight on how good we can do this. We have a couple of different things going on here. You have the yellow, and we could use the. The plan is for the weathering itself. We're going to use the brown wash for German yellow. All right. And again, we might not get to this part till tomorrow. We'll see. And we'll see how I'm feeling. If I feel like I'm okay and I still got some wind in me, we'll just keep on going tonight. But we'll play it by ear. So we'll have that. We are going to use our color wheel to figure out what colors we're going to need to dull down this yellow and to help get the initial fade going. And then we're probably going to use this neutral wash a little bit also to help with the fade. We'll see how it goes. We might not use this because I'm originally thinking we're going to be putting a little bit of white in here with the oil, and we'll see if that fades it enough. And if it doesn't fade it enough, we'll use some neutral wash. It's all, we'll see how it goes, as we go along. So, all right, and we'll see how far we get. The silver is going to be interesting because I'm not sure. Do you really fade silver? I don't know if silver really fades, but we definitely will muck it up a little bit with the grime and the washes, and we'll see how that goes. So it'll be interesting. It'll be a first for me and a first for everybody else. We'll see how it goes. Plus, the ends are black. All right. So the ends are black. So that's going to be interesting how we're going to tackle that. So, all right. So it's a night of exploration. We'll see what happens. Anyway, Saturday night. So obviously on Saturday night, we've always got to have our drink. And tonight's drink is going to be this non-alcoholic. It's called Hellraiser by Well-Being Non-Alcoholic Brewery. And Hellraiser Dark Amber. So this is the first time I'm trying this. I'm hoping it's going to be good. Looked interesting when I was looking on my on the unleaded beverage company's website, and it says it's delightful to the palate with sublime balance of floral aroma and spicy hops. A delicious dark amber brew to raise hell responsibly. There you go. Anyway, let's open this up and try it out and see how it tastes. In the meantime, while I'm pouring this, I don't know if everybody saw the post that I put up on YouTube, but Unleaded Beverage has a discount code for us, for anybody who wants to try out their beer, their non-alcoholic beer. Wow, look at the head on that thing. The non-alcoholic beer or their spirits. They have like non-alcoholic bourbons, stuff like that. They have. I bought my wife a non-alcoholic margarita in a can. They also have non-alcoholic wines. So if you're interested, and there's no, just you don't have to, but if you're interested, you can go to the website and place your order. Use promo code Cousin Teddy, and it's capital C on cousin and capital T on Teddy, all one word. So when you go to checkout, you use your discount code Cousin Teddy and get 10% off your total order. And they ship all over the United States. It's not just New Jersey or Northeast. If you live in California or you lived in Washington State or Arizona or New Mexico, wherever, you can order these non-alcoholic beverages and enjoy them because they do have some unique stuff. I know you've seen a lot of alcohol and non-alcoholic stuff showing up in supermarkets and stuff. But you can get some unique stuff through Unleaded Beverage. And I promote them because it's family, it's my cousin, and I'm really trying to help her out, get her a bottle shop going, and hopefully maybe somebody will make some orders. I'm her best customer. I order all the time from her. So anyway, guys, happy Saturday. Cheers. Down the hatch. Oh, that's interesting. Definitely, definitely taste the floral notes in there. It's a little bit hoppy, not as hoppy as an IPA, but it's pretty good for a non-alcoholic beer. It's very, very good. Long step away from back in the day of when it was just O'Doul's. Oh my God, this stuff is terrible. This stuff is good. So anyway, let's see who's on before we get started. We have, of course, my good buddy Steve. Steve, how you doing tonight, buddy? Thanks for joining up. We got BM Coleman. Thanks for signing on, being with us. John Gavin. Hey, John, how you doing? Glad you guys are here. I know we have a few other people in the background. We have about 8 people watching. Thank you again for joining up and signing up with us on a Saturday night. All right, so let's get started. So let's break out the color wheel. We're going to figure out what colors we're going to use with our oils for this yellow. And if you look at this yellow, it's not a yellow, right? Look at the regular yellow compared to the boxcar. All right, so it's definitely more of an orange yellow. So we can see here, orange yellow. And it's pretty close. This orange yellow is just slightly darker than the boxcar, but we can go off of that. All right. So we're going to look at across the wheel and what we're going to be using to help fade that out. So you need like a blue violet. All right. And to get blue violet, we could use some blue with a couple dots of red to get that little purplish hue. All right. We don't have to mix it that. We can actually just put it on the car like that. So if you remember when we do our fades, we put little dots of paint of the different shades that we're going to use to offset the color that's on the car. So we're definitely using some blue and a couple of dots of red. And that'll all mix together on the car. Um, and that should help tone down the yellow. All right. We're still going to have to put some dots of white on there to help lighten up that shade. So we definitely be using some white. And or we can maybe use gray. We'll figure that out as we get there. All right. So again, this yellow orange is what's going to match this the best. We go across the color wheel to over here. It's saying a blue violet. All right. So it's halfway between blue and violet. So like I said, to get that blue violet, because I don't have a blue violet oil brusher, but I do have blue and I do have red. So we'll just mix a little bit of that together to get that blue violet on the car. All right. So we're going to go with our fade first, and we'll see how it goes from there. The fade, the black on the end, uh, we might just brush a little bit of white on there and brush it on and blend it in, see how it goes. All right, it's just all going to be by the seat of our pants like we normally do. So, all right, let's get started. So we have our washes over here. I'm not sure if we're going to get to the washes tonight. We got our tray here. I'm going to break out our oil brushers. So again, so we have the stack of oil brushes here. Let's see which ones we're going to use here. I got this blue. And this blue is really not too bad. It's not that far off. Let's bring the color wheel back out again. If you look at that, so this blue is actually closer to the blue violet. It says dark blue, so we might be okay just using the blue without mixing any red. We might still put a couple dots of red on it. I'm not sure yet. All right, but you guys can see that, right? So we got the blue. We're going to use the blue. We're going to use our red. Put this color wheel back down here. A little bit of red. We'll take out the white. Maybe even a little bit of yellow, because the lighter yellow will lighten up on that darker orange yellow. All right, and not too much. So we're going to add a few dots of each on there. We'll experiment on a quarter of the car first. All right, and we do have a little bit of black. We got this black over here too, so we're going to have to watch out over there and see how that works out. So, all right, we don't need this red tile. Let's see if there's any other colors we want. No, these colors are good. So we got out here. All right, so okay, we had somebody else join. Oh, okay, Ray, how you doing, Ray? Thanks for signing on. And Willow Creek, good to see you. Thanks for signing in. All right, guys, so let's get started. All right. So we're going to start with the blue. Let's get the old. I don't know if you can hear it. The old vortex mixer going on these paints here. So mixed up some blue, mixing up the yellow. Some white and some red. There we go. And we'll just mix up the red and we'll get started. Okay, so again, what we're going to do is we put a couple little dots across the car. We're going to work a section at a time, so let's put the blue back. Maybe a couple random dots of red. not a lot. Get some yellow in there. Always looks like a disease on there, right? Chicken pox or whatever. Measles. Smallpox. Some yellow. I forget who told me they get nervous when they do this. When they see the different dots on the side of the car. But it always works out. Let's get some white in there to help lighten it up. And then we'll see what happens. And worst comes to worst, like I said, we make a mistake and we're not happy with how things are working or the way it looks. A little odorless thinner goes a long way to erasing what happened. All right. Everybody could see that, right? I mean, just bring it up close. You can see the no rhyme or reason, just some random dots, right? All right. Let's use this brush right here. And just start mixing that all together. Actually, I'll get that down into the silver too. I accidentally got some down here, but it's actually doling out that silver a little bit. So that's not bad. It's a happy accident. Happy little accidents. That's our little Bob Ross moment here. We'll do the same thing on the roof. So we're going to do the whole car. We'll fade it out. And like I said, by the time we're done with that, we'll see where we are at time-wise. We'll see how much forward we're going to go tonight. You just keep working that in. And we'll see if we're going to lighten it up anymore. And we might. But you can tell the difference between the two sides here, right? It's already doled out that yellow orange. Clean the brush off a little bit. And go back and blend this some more. I was excited to do this car. I've been wanting to work on it, and I'm like, do I do a dull Tuscan red Penzi gondola this week, or do I break out the Rio Grande car? I says, the hell with it, we'll do the Rio Grande car. All right, let's take a look and see what the progress is so far, if you guys can see this. All right, I'm going to go back in with another brush. And just break that down a little bit more. I like to work half car at a time, because then you can see the difference between the side that you've been working on and the side that is still original paint. Let's get some sponge. And let's use a little bit of sponge just to see. Blend that just a little bit more. I don't know if you guys are seeing the difference, but you can see it's toned down. It's dulled out, slightly faded. So what I could do, we have a couple options, all right? Once this is all dry, I can go back and use some of that neutral wash that were used on the black cars to fade out. Or I can go back in a little bit more white and yellow, which I might do. Let me just get a little bit more white and yellow. We'll do this first to see how that works out. So we've already muted out the color with our blue and our red. So let's use some of our lighter colors just to see if we get a little bit more of a fade going. Just using the oils. A little bit more of the white. I don't know how much of a fade I really want, but all right. Let's get our original brush again. Where'd I put that? Here it is. I'm kind of rubbing that in there. That's actually faded out a little bit more. I like that. Okay. So we took a chance and it worked out good for us. Clean this off a little bit. Go back with the other brush. Clean that up a little bit. It's even fading out the black very nicely on this insulated CP where it says insulated CP. Get some more off this silver because I don't want the silver looking yellow. It's looking a little bit yellow. But we can clean that up. Let's go back with the sponge. Smash it down in the silver. I'm going to wipe that away. All right, I think that's looking pretty good. That's the verdict, guys. What do you think? Got a good fade going on there. All right, we're going to move on to the second half of the car. So we stopped here just before the middle of the car. So we're going to do in here and over here now. We'll flip it over to the other side. We'll do the roof. We'll do the ends last. All right, and then we'll see where we are at that point. So, all right, so let's re-vortex some of our paints here. Hit the camera. Camera's sinking. Don't sink. There you go. All right. Oh, I forgot to show you guys. Steve has been tutoring me how to do some figures. And Tuesday night when we were on the around the layout operator crew call, I started working on these. Sinking or sinking? Yeah, both. We're sinking or sinking. So anyway, I don't know if you can see these. These are a little bit out of focus, but this one is me sitting down in engineer's position. This one's my wife. She'll be standing trackside, giving me thumbs up as I drive by. So haven't gotten, I did the original, first primer coat with the flesh tones and then worked on the jeans. So Steve, I'll be working on this Tuesday night again. So, and along with, while we're talking to everybody else. All right, so let's move on to here. So again, we're going to do the blue, a little bit of red, yellow, and white. And so let's get a couple dots in here. Get random dots. These are molded on ladders and grabs. So this is a cheaper car. This is not one of the better Walters cars. This is a Walters car. This is the main line, so the main lines are. That's all right. You know, a lot of cars are just going to be runners. All right, they're not show cars. I might show off them at an RPM just to show the weathering on them. But these are not show cars, so I'm not too worried about the grabs and stuff. I'm not even sure if this is an accurate car, if it's a Fubi or what, but it looks cool. I like the paint job on it, so maybe one day I'll invest in a better Rio Grande car. But only reason why I even bought this, I think I was watching a video, and a Penn Central train was going by, and I saw one of these cars with this paint scheme on the train, so that's my story. I'm sticking to it. That's why I have a Rio Grande car. And one of these days I gotta get over and weather my Illinois Central Orange boxcar that I showed you guys that I built a few weeks back. Had a couple of grab irons break off. I have to replace those, so I'm not going to do anything to it until I replace the grab irons on it. All right. Get some of the white on there. I'd probably put more white this time than I did the last time, since we had to go back with the white anyway. Got our measles on the car again. And one more there. And one more there. All right. Let's blend this in. See how it goes. All right. So we got. Let me take another sip. Cheers again. Happy Saturday. Happy almost Christmas. I can't believe Christmas is what? 2 weeks away? 2.5 weeks away? Oh my God, I can't believe this. Like November flew by and then December's flying by too. Oh man. Okay. All right. Let's get this going here. Wow, it's a kaleidoscope of colors. Getting the ladders there. Don't worry about when you look at the initial brushing and stuff, because it's all going to get mixed together and faded in the more you rub it in there. The more to rub it, the better it gets. Clean this off a little bit. You're gonna be up all night drinking coffee, right? I tell you, I was so tired at the end, towards the end of because the party is actually still going on a little bit. I think over at Ted's house. I left earlier to go home so I could do this, and I don't normally get up in the morning until about 10, the earliest, and a lot of times closer to 11. So when I get up for go to these op sessions, I'm getting up early, and I had no nap today, so I was starting to tank before I left his house. So I grabbed a cup of coffee and had that, and it woke me up a little bit. But I can have a cup of coffee before bed, and it won't keep me up. I'm just one of those people. Yeah. Drives my wife nuts. She has a cup of coffee after 12 noon. She can't sleep at night. So, and let's go back with this brush here. So blending that in somewhere. This is really working out nice, even with the silver on the bottom. It's fading out the silver a little bit. Wasn't sure how that was going to work out. And working that in, and we'll hit it with the sponge. Last thing. Getting inside these ladders is the hardest part right here. Let's clean some of this off. Because it does build up on the brush, so I get to wipe it once in a while. Okay. Kind of digging into this ladder here because otherwise it's not going to look right. It's kind of built up inside a little bit. All right, let's hit it with the sponge. Especially on the silver. I don't want to have it too dark on the silver there. Always amazed on how those opposite colors, the effect they have on the color that you're working on the car. Let's get in there a little bit. All right, this is looking pretty cool. I was a little unsure how it was going to be. And I am, to say I'm a little bit stoked is true. I am stoked a little bit. All right, so if you look at that compared to the top, the top is still pretty shiny. This is kind of nice doled out. Even the silver on the bottom, it's got a nice little hue to it. And stoled it out. It's not so shiny. Looks like it's been running back and forth west and east for a while. All right, cool. Let's get it over to the other side of the car. Okay. Okay, so rinse and repeat. Same thing. We're gonna do some blue, some little bit of red, yellow, and white. I think the amount that we did on the second half of the car worked out good. Didn't have to go back and touch it up at all. So, all right, a little shake again. Yes, blue. I think I'm gonna do work at half the car at a time, just so we don't go crazy. Sometimes if you try to do too much at once, things start to dry. Then you don't have as much control over it. All right, undo here. Let's get the red. Thanks, Steve. Yeah, it is looking good. I'm kind of happy with it. Get some red in there. All right. I love these oil brushers. I've been using the paint from these oil brushers to do the figures, except for the flesh tones. Flesh tones, I bought some acrylics. Okay, some yellow. I got some stuff on order from Canada from Yelton Models, and they ordered it back on the 24th of November, and I'm still waiting for it. And I finally got a hold of tracking Dan looked up the tracking for me, and it's in limbo somewhere over the border. He made it over the border, but it's in limbo someplace. I don't know what's going on. But it's for a project I'm doing with the some of those trailers I weathered up a month and a half ago. Going to do a flexi van yard with trailers being loaded onto a flexi van flat car. And I've ordered from Yelton Models from Chef Dan some of the flexi van yard tractors. They're very unique. When I get them in, I'll show you guys. Maybe by the next, hopefully by the next feed, it'll be here. It's coming by Pony Express, I think. But it's not Dan's fault. It's just the way it is with the border now, the way it is, and customs. And I just think it's just got tied up. But it's, just two little trucks, two little tractors, yard tractors. You know what a yard tractor is, and I don't know what the holdup is. But it is what it is. I'm trying to do the diorama in time for the next, either the next RPM at Malvern, Pennsylvania for the Valley Forge RPM, or at least for the next NERPM. And I'm thinking more towards NERPM, so I'm really not too much of a rush. So, all right, so we're gonna blend this in again. Looks like one of my granddaughter's finger paintings here, All right. Blend that in. Anyway, what's new with everybody else? Anybody got something going on you want to share with the group? Share with me? You got all your Christmas shopping done yet? I just about got mine done. I bought for all the grandkids. The older grandkids, I got to get them some gift cards because I don't know what to get them anymore. They seem to like to get the Amazon gift cards. They can order what they want for themselves. The younger ones, I got them their toys and stuff like that. And try to get my wife to tell me what she wants because she's always like, I don't know. I said, you know what you want. Just tell me. I'll buy it. Although one of my friends said that he bought his wife a Mustang convertible for Christmas. I'm like, dude, I'm not spending that much money. I don't have that kind of money. God bless him that he's able to do it. Gotta blend this a little bit more with this brush. Then we're gonna go back with the cleaner brush, the wider brush. And mixing all these colors together, it's almost like a brown, It's turning brown anyway, so. Yeah, because you got some yellow, you got blue, which makes green. And you add to that yellow and blue or green, and you add some red, it turns brown. That's how you get brown. So technically, we're making a convoluted way to making some kind of brown on here. But again, you're just doling out that yellow, taking the shine off of it. And helping with the fade, so. Hit it with the sponge. Wipe away some of this stuff. I might have went a little heavy this time. That's all right, we can wipe a lot of it away. That's not bad. So go to a clean corner on the sponge now. Like I said, I want to clean a little bit extra off the silver part. All right, cool. So you can see the difference, and this is working pretty quick. This is something you can do very quickly on a car. You can almost looks like you can almost get away with just doing this without doing any of the washes and stuff. Like I said, tomorrow I'm gonna go back with someone to wash anyway. A very light coat of wash, but yeah, this is looking good. This is the happiest I am with a yellow car. I've had some yellow cars in the past that I've done that I haven't been too crazy about. I got one, if you remember the live feed from Markham. That one looks like there could be more done to it, so I might revisit that another day. But I'm liking this. So you can see again, here's the difference between here and here. A nice muting of the color. And even the silver. Silver got a mute to it. It's got a little bit of a brown hue to it. That is looking good. Let's one more time, mix up our colors again. Then we'll move on to the roof. And I'm sure these colors are staying pretty mixed in. I'm just giving it a little shake every time before I use it. So just a couple of drops there. Drop, drop, drop. Some inside there. Again, blue is the opposite. This is like a violet blue almost. It's like a purplish blue. It's the opposite of this yellow orange. So this is why we're using the blue, predominantly using the blue, and we're going lighter on the other colors. So we're adding just a little bit of red to get just a little bit more of a violet hue, because it was a blue violet that we needed to get the fade going on this. We're muting of the color. It's not too much red. Just adding some red. Probably about on a ratio half of half the amount that we did for blue that we're doing for red. All right. I'm gonna go in and add some yellow. And again, yellow is just to lighten up the shade a little bit. And we're gonna add some white. Let's see if we get some comments here. Let's read some of the comments while we're working. So let's see. We got I see you working on a diorama. Yeah, I know you sent me some pictures, Steve. I got to look at them in a little bit because I'm actually using the phone as the camera, so I can't open it up yet. I'll take a look later at that. DM Coleman, you doing you finished almost finished with your shopping, working on the extension of the layout. Awesome. Yeah, I was thinking about extending the layout I got here too. I'm not sure yet. Harvested, John says harvested some sedum for trees for my friend's layout. Need to dry them out first. Do you because I know they say to do this with super trees. When you get your sedum and you do that, do you do like glycerin? Do you soak them in glycerin, uh, kind of to like keep them moist, or kind of for like a fireproofing type deal? I got super trees here, and I haven't done anything with them yet. I've had them for a while, and I know they say to soak them in glycerin solution, and then let it soak in, and that kind of keeps them from drying out too much, and I guess a little less prone, although they probably would still catch on fire if you weren't careful enough. But just wondering, I don't know if you do that with your sedum. We have these because I live near the bay, but in a lot, I've seen in a lot of swampy areas too, or places with water. They have these plants that kind of like shoot up out of the marshy areas, and they get in mid to late fall. They get these little bushy things on top. It almost looks like trees. And I thought I saw an article. I think it was an MR. This guy that uses those, and I forget what they're called. And he goes out and harvests them every year, and he brings them home, and then he rattle can spray paints them various shades of green, and it looks like like trees. And it was pretty. Every year I am like, I should stop my car, get a scissor, and start harvesting some of these things. But I'm really not ready for them yet. I'm not ready for trees, and I got a lot of super trees. So if I keep threatening that I'm going to do that, but every place I see them is usually on highways and stuff, which is not the safest thing to be stopping your car to go cut these things down. But all right, so you just dry them out and spray paints, different colors, hairspray for the leaves. Oh, so you had some flocking on afterwards, right? All right, yeah, yeah. Use some of like the Scenic Express flocking, the tree flocking and stuff. Also brush the stems different grays. Yeah, yeah, that makes sense too. A friend, Marty McGurk, you guys may remember Marty McGurk when he used to be with Model Railroader down in Virginia. He's got these crepe myrtle bushes on the side of his house, and he uses that for trees. And his trees come out pretty good too. He basically does like what you're doing. He dries them out and he paints them up, flocks them with the different leaves, with the hairspray. All right, go back with this brush here. It's looking like some chocolate smeared on the side of his car. On the last layout before it came down, as far as I got with scenery was just learning how to do static grass. So I done a bunch of nice areas with the static grass. I love doing that. It was so easy, and you get such a good result so quickly, and it's not hard to do. I'm at a crossroad with the layout now that I got because my little granddaughter is starting to crawl, and she's gonna be walking pretty soon. And my wife wants to make a play area down here in the basement for her. So I'm trying to think what I can do with this layout to get a little bit more room. I might just wind up rearranging. I know I didn't show you guys when I gave you the layout tour a couple of weeks ago, but I have like bookcases lying against the wall where my workbench is here, and I have all my paints and stuff on top of there, and models and stuff, and they need to be out of reach. So I'm looking at trying to get some locking cabinets maybe, or building some shelves up high to keep it out of her reach. And then I got to start thinking about all the sharp tools I got over here. I don't know. Your life gets turned upside down when you have kids and grandkids. But you know what? She's so cute, and I love her so much. I want to try to have a little spot for her for when she comes over. And so I just got to figure out what I'm going to do. But I'm looking into some locking cabinets to keep my hazardous stuff in, the paints and thinners and stuff like that. And maybe building a shelf. Let me just pop this off here real quick and I'll show you what we're talking about. So right now I got, stuff like this hanging on the side here. I need to put that all out of reach. I got these Harbor Freight toolboxes, but they don't lock. But I don't foresee her climbing up, at least the first year or two, climbing up here and grabbing stuff. And she wouldn't be down here unattended. So then there's my bookcases that I'm using for model storage. You see all the paints and stuff on top there. I got boxes for shipping down there for when I sell stuff. So really thinking about how I'm gonna childproof this and make it safe for her. And that's the whole trouble. We just don't have a lot of room here, even though we got a nice sized townhouse. It's just we're limited in the basement of what I can do. So, oh, we have a question here. All right. All right. So Ray, what is the thing that runs across the center of the roof of that car? I've never seen. Are you talking about the roof walk, Ray? Seriously, the roof walk? You talk about this? Yeah, because what was it? Maybe somebody can help me out. It was in the early 1970s. They were outlawed, so they started being pulled off the top of the roofs. Uh, People aren't carmen were not allowed to ride on top of the roofs anymore. That's a roof walk. Is that what you're talking about, Ray? The roof walk? Yeah, that's because you're one of those newfangled modern guys. That's why. Yeah. All right, let's clean some of this out of here. All right, that's pretty good, right? Ray likes to tease. I know Ray knows what a roof walk is. Steve, you know what a roof walk is, right? John Gavin, you know what a roof walk is, right? Yeah. We have to educate you, Ray. I know you're teasing me about the error, yeah. This car, it's got a built date of 1964. So technically, if I'm running mid to late Penn Central, and we know Penn Central didn't last that long, um, this car is probably still running in its paint scheme at that time, with or without the roof. Because I've seen cars painted in this scheme that were missing the roof walk, and they just might have taken the roof walk off. Maybe I don't know. But um, so some of the cars, you'll notice some of the cars I work on have roof walks. Some of them don't. And I'm thinking eventually when I do run some PC, it's going to probably be the early '70s before they went just before they went bankrupt. I think they went bankrupt in '71. All right, so we got the car sides done. You can see there. Let's get the roof done, and then we'll check the time and see where we're at. Okay, so same business. We're gonna do the blue, the red, yellow, and the white. Get a little spin on the vortex. The vortex spinner. I love the vortex spinner. That's one of the bestie things I've ever done. Thank you, Ray. You have no idea how often I use that now. So we'll do half the car. I'm not sure I'm going to do the roof walk. We'll just save that for when we do the washes. All right, let's get some red in there. All right, so by 1983, Steve. All right, I knew it was sometime within that era, the 70s and the 80s. I didn't realize it was that late by 83. I thought it was earlier. I thought they had to be off like the mid 70s, but that sounds about right. Trying to remember when I was trackside as a kid if I remember seeing any roof walks still. So that would have been in the 70s by the time I discovered trains and rail fanning. This is too bad when I was rail fanning when I was younger, I didn't discover taking pictures. I just stood there with my mouth open. Ooh, a train. There's Erie Lackawanna running through my town. So, all right, let's get some yellow and white. If I could have just, if I knew back then that I should have been taking pictures because everything was changing. The Conrail. Remember, I was just starting high school, and me and my friends were so pissed off that Conrail came about. Because all our favorite railroads were being absorbed into it. Now I'm pissed off that Conrail's gone. I did get pictures of Conrail, but I lost my slides. I don't know what happened to them. Probably when I moved out and was going through divorce. Probably my ex-wife threw them out on me. I had a lot of Conrail slides that I took. Oh well. Let's get some white. All right, so yeah, so 66, Steve says 66 was the ban, 74 was the primary deadline, 83 the final deadline. All right, cool. That makes sense. Yeah, I kept thinking mid 70s, so yeah, it's that timeline. That timeline makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, let's get some white in here. All right, let's get the brush. Get both sides going. Do the other side too. Extend it out a little bit here. A lot on the brush, so I should go back and forth too a little bit. Lately hit the roof walk. Lately hit this thing that's on top of the car that Ray doesn't know what it is. And we know he knows what it is. Oops, sorry, hit the camera. Sorry about that, guys. And get the other brush. Throw that away. doing. We're blending and taking away some of this paint. So brush off, get the excess paint off. Yeah, let's get a clean sponge. Yes, these sponges get messed up pretty quickly, so wipe away. All right. It's a little harder to get some of this out of those crevices here, but if we have to, we have those mini sponges on a stick. I can get in there, but I think I'm getting most of it with the sponge. So mini sponge on a stick. All right. Get in there, good. See a little bit of white just sticking in over here. And I got maybe a clean brush, and I can get that out with that. Oops, sorry guys. Hit the camera again. Okay, good. Let's get some of that out of there. Get that out. Try to get underneath that roof walk there too. All right. Let's go back around this side. The other side of the sponge. Let's get one of our little mini sponges. Let me look for that. In here? Yes, I did. All right, so we got our mini sponge. You can use that to get in the channels. You can see that's cleaned it up. Really nice. Just can't get in there too well with the regular sponge. All right, back to the other side. Focus on the stuff that we missed. You can even dig in there a little bit. Although it looks like grime underneath the roof walk, so that's probably all right. All right. Gonna finish up the last half of the car, and we'll take a look around to see where we're at. All right, cool. So we went a little over halfway. We're going to finish up this half over here, and then we'll see where we stand for tonight. So let's get the blue out again one more time. A little lighter this time. A little too heavy last time. And there's some red. Some red. Not too much. Like I said, probably half the amount of red that you use for blue. Okay. A little bit of yellow and a little bit of white. Give it the final blending in. And again, the yellow and the white are just to lighten it up. Your blue and red is what's toning down the yellow, yellow orange that's on the car. Your yellow and white is what lightening it up a little bit. It's not a heavy fade, but it's just enough to dull it out so it looks like it's been in service for a while. All right, let's go to the white. Psychedelic. New brush, because this other brush is pretty messed up, so let's go with this dry brush here. And blend that in. Dry brush across the roof walk there. Just turn it around. Do this side too. Wipe that off. Go back with the wedge brush. get her a sponge. Turn it around. This sponge is getting kind of used up. Let's go to our sponge and a stick. If you remember Jeff Dunham and his one puppet, the jalapeno on a stick. What was his name? Jalapeno on a stick. Sponge on a stick. Okay. Last side here. Some stuff, dig this stuff out of here. That's in the crevices. And the sponge is almost used up. We go through sponges. It's a good thing they're cheap. I use the cheap stuff, cheap sponges, cheap brushes. I know there's modelers out there that use very good brushes for their weathering. And the type of weathering they're doing works out good for them. As long as you clean your brushes, you're good. But quick and dirty, we're not going to worry about having good brushes. Now my figures, I'm using very good brushes. I got a expensive brush set that I'm using for the figures and stuff. So things like that, I'll splurge on brushes. Cleaned them up good when I was done using them the other day. All right. Let's give this a shot like this here. All right, guys. So we're going to give this a once over, look at it, look around the car. I know we didn't do the ends, and we still have washes to do. Oh, what happened here? Still have washes to do on the car. And like I said, we're going to probably end this very soon, and then we'll pick it up again tomorrow if you guys are available to be around. I'll try and start before football. Maybe let's make it we'll make it a definite start at 12 noon Eastern time. And we'll pick it up and we'll take this car out again tomorrow, and we'll give it some washes, work on the wheels, the underframe, and that'll be it. Let's take a look. All right, so if you remember the very shiny yellow orange that this car started out with, we have a dull, slightly faded yellow orange now roof. And there's a little bit of buildup on it, but that's okay because we're going to be doing some buildup with the washes tomorrow too. Awesome. Okay, I'm gonna just wipe my hands off. Okay, see what some of the comments we got here. Okay, so John says Conrail boxcars had yellow stencil, no roof walks. They torched off the roof walk and left the ladders on to reach the brake wheel. Depends on the budget that year. Yeah. You know, especially considering what the shape they were in financially when they first took over. There's probably a lot of shortcuts and stuff that they had to do at the beginning. And it's funny because when you think about Conrail in the beginning, none of us back then thought about it was ever going to, come out and be successful like it was. I think the worst thing the government did was sell it off. I mean, they run private and they had stock options. They had the stocks and stuff. And Conrail was a very valuable railroad, man. It was very sad when they broke it up like that. But it is what it is. So anyway, guys, so we're going to leave it at this for now. I appreciate you signing on and spending Saturday night with me. I still got a lot of beer left here, so maybe I'll sit here for 5 minutes and we'll talk a little bit. Anybody got any questions about what we did with this Rio Grande boxcar or anything else for the good of the order? And cheers again. It's very refreshing. I like that. I got one other beer with this order, and it's like a wheat beer. So it's like a German wheat style beer, and they claim to have added what they put in there. What's the stuff that's in yogurt? What's the good stuff in yogurt? I'm having a brain fart here. Um, anyway, okay, I can't think of it. Bio, no. Anyway, I guess it's beer that's good for you. So it's got some good gut bacteria stuff in it. Maybe I don't know. Anyway, probiotics. Thank you, Steve. I don't know why I had such a brain fart with that. It's beer with probiotics in it, believe it or not. So I guess it's good for you. See, beer's good for you. Who said it wasn't? So, all right, guys. So we're gonna stop here. We'll leave it at this. If you can join me tomorrow, it'd be great. I will put the feed up for tomorrow. I'll probably set it up tonight, and then we'll go for 12 noon. And it won't be too long of a feed because it shouldn't take too long to do the washes and the trucks and stuff like that. So, give me something to do on Sunday. My wife's abandoning me tomorrow. She's going to New York City with my mother-in-law, and they're going to visit some relatives. And all I'm saying is, thank God I don't have to go because me and New York City don't get along. I hate New York City. I've never. And some people like, oh, how could you not like New York City? And I said, I don't know. Ever since I was younger, I just never liked the city. So even though I live right outside of New York, but it is what it is. When I have to go, I go. But luckily, my sister-in-law is driving everybody in tomorrow, so I don't have to go. So yay for me. So that means I can come back on tomorrow and finish this car up. So, all right, guys. Well, thank you for very much for spending Saturday night with me. I'm glad I was able to make it back in time to have something going. Hopefully next week I should be able to start at 8. If not, I'll let you know and I'll start at 9 again. 9 seemed to be a good time too. Anyway, guys, thanks a lot. And we will catch you tomorrow, possibly. And if not, I'll see you next week here on Saturday Night Live Weathering. Bye for now.